Hi, my name is Dan, and this is my channel Engelgeist. Thank you for tuning in. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those that are returning, welcome back. I miss you guys. I know that this week is being pre-taped due to the fact that I'm traveling over the holidays. I hope everybody had a great holiday yesterday. With that devil card showing up, I hope that you guys were able to not give in to any sort of temptation to want to sink to anybody's level or to overdo anything in excess, be it, alcohol, food, emotions, depression, whatever that may have been for you yesterday. I hope that you were able to sort of be aware of it, allow it to, show you where your triggers were, and then to clear away your triggers. Let's see what today has on offer for the collective, the highest good of the collective for the 29th. This would be Friday of November. This is the timeless reading, so the intention with all of my readings are that Spirit give the message for the highest good of the collective of all those that watch, both now and into the future. So if this is something that's coming up in your feed and you happen to be watching it, maybe there's a message here for you. Ways you can support my channel: like, comment, share, subscribe. If you do decide to just subscribe to the YouTube channel, please hit the notification bell so you get notified when I do go live. Normally these forecasts are done live every day, so you can interact with me on those live broadcasts. So let's see what Spirit wants to show us today after the holiday of yesterday with that Devil and World card that we had. Did we dream yesterday? Did we look at something from maybe a higher, more lofty perspective? Were we able to get out of our stuff? That's the question. Let's see what we're looking at today. Okay, so our first card out. Oh, wow, guys. I mentioned this card in yesterday's reading, too. This is the Tower. So it feels to me like, and I mentioned this card yesterday because I always think of the Devil and the Tower sort of being synonymous in the fact that nobody wants to see these cards. Nobody wants to sort of deal with these cards. They always freak out. I sort of look at these cards as sort of life-changing opportunities, right? To me, they come off as there before the grace of God go I, or let go or be dragged. The phrases that I always use over and over again. It's like, if we don't do something about it, something's going to get done. And I feel like as we approach 2020, there is, with all of the forecasts, the taroscopes that I did, it felt like a lot of the signs were doing last minute sort of cramming to get things finished and accomplished. And I really feel like this Devil card from yesterday and now this Tower card from today are saying to us that it is really Spirit kind of telling us it's time to clear out the old ways of being. It's time to clear out the old patterns. And if we don't, they will be cleared out for us, right? If we don't sort of embrace these things and roll with them, they will be cleared out for us. And the reason why I say that is this lightning strike that's striking this tree and setting the tree on fire, to me, is fire is the energy of Spirit in all tarot readings, right? So we have this bolt of lightning coming down from maybe even our own spirit or our God, whatever that may be to us, our higher power, our spirit guides, that sort of thing. But it's that sort of strike of inspiration that sort of sets everything. Yes, there's a certain amount of destruction that comes along with the Tower, like inevitable destruction. But what I feel like this is about is it's sort of this fire transforms this tree that was once here. This tree, this life that we've lived, it's been long and fruitful, right? But it's time to sort of grow into something else. And we have these other trees here on either side, and this ties into the Wands energy that we saw at the beginning of the week. We had the Two of Wands, and then on, I want to say, what was it, Tuesday? Was it Tuesday's reading, possibly? We had the Six of Wands. These trees make me think about this sort of idea of spiritual energy or the aspects of ourselves at a spirit level being transformed, right? So however we held ourselves yesterday during Thanksgiving, if we listened to the forecast, maybe we looked at some of where our triggers are or where our emotions sit, and maybe we were able to release them or not act on them, or maybe we got sucked into them. But even if that did happen, right, and old patterns reared their ugly head, I think that the opportunity here is to have these things sort of be cleansed from us. That's this Tower card. Those of you that may be fighting, some of you might be struggling, there might be a little bit of pain involved with this card. But those of you that are embracing this struggle or embracing this change, I feel like use the transformation to sort of literally burn anything and everything down to the ground as far as how things used to maybe work in your life and how they're going to progress into the future, right? I like that these two trees on either side say to me that there is new growth, that there is new opportunities and new pathways to open up to. And we just have to be willing to sort of go through this transformative process right now of letting ourselves not only like how do I want to put this? Not only having ourselves sort of like set on fire or having our our old ways of being or what used to work for us, being willing to sort of destroy them and let them go, right? It will transform us into something different. This will have the opportunity, although it may be painful or it may be uncomfortable for some of you it may not be, but the tower usually, if we're in resistance to it, it is more painful than it needs to be, right? But what we have to remember is that this is a huge opportunity for transformation at a very deep level. And if you go back and you watch Sunday's video, by week's end, which we're getting ready now, it's Friday, we're getting ready to go into the week's end. We had that, what was that card? It had the heart on it. It was the Five of Cups. And it had that heart with the crow. And I feel like, if you go back and you watch it, there's something that we're letting go of. There's an intelligence that we're gaining from this week's experiences. There's an awareness that we're gaining from ourselves that I talk about back on Sunday's forecast, that I think part of this tower is part of that transformation. Part of this sort of maybe the rug feeling like it's being pulled out from under some of us, or the transformation, the sort of letting go, the burning off of whatever is no longer serving us. We have to remember that it's coming from a higher place and very well quite possibly serving a higher purpose, right? To move us to a position where we start to better honor ourselves and acknowledge ourselves and live more in something that's more suitable for us in this present time. Does that make sense? So embrace this sort of change or this, oh wow, look who's back. Our card, the Void. Embrace this sort of change that's coming for us. It might be rather significant because the Tower again is also a major arcana card, and I feel like again this week we've had the Hermit, we've had the Devil, and we've had the Tower. So it's not like this is not a big week for us. Let's just say that. There's a lot of energy around these major arcana cards, so there's lessons to be learned that are going to be impactful and powerful. As I look at this Void card, we had this Void card, I want to say last week, at the beginning of the week. We're still pulling from the void, guys. That's what this card is saying to me very clearly. We're still pulling from the other side, and we may not even be aware of it. That's some of what I see, this lightning bolt striking this tree. We're like kind of splitting this tree open and putting the spiritual like sort of fire in it, transforming it at a level of spirit, right? We are pulling out from the void what it is we next want, whether we know it or not. We are sort of, do we want to get, the way that I want to go with this is, do we want to get ahead of ourselves and become aware of that? Or do we want to continue to just pull blindly? And I think that that's the case here, is that we need to be aware that the situations that we find ourselves in that might be uncomfortable or painful or outside of our control actually are situations that we have brought forward to stretch us, to educate us, to test us, to strengthen us. And all of it has an aspect of ourselves in it that we have to acknowledge. The sooner we acknowledge it, I think the less painful these situations are for us. And the more quickly we're apt to go through them, transform, move on, and get to the next, and sort of evolve quicker. And then we actively start to use this hand or this aspect of ourselves where we are aware that what we are pulling into our experience from the void or from the other side, from spirit, is actually of our own making versus being a victim to, say, our own circumstances or what life throws at us. Because it's not necessarily about that. This is about waking up and realizing that we are the creators of our experience. The grounding stone for today, this is sharing. So I say, when I look at sharing, I'm not exactly sure where sharing fits into this. I think this might be about sharing our experiences with others, about sharing how we truly feel, sharing what's truly going on within ourselves. We might find one person that we need to sort of do this with that may assist us in making this transformation a little bit more um, real, if that makes any sense. To me, I feel like the speaking of it, this is what I'm hearing or this is what I'm feeling, is that the speaking of it or the sharing of it, maybe with somebody dear to us or close to us, the transformations that might be taking place, or the feelings that we might be going through, or the things that we need to be letting go of, or the experiences that we're pulling through from the other side, we need to sort of acknowledge it and honor it, and maybe talk about it with another person, talk about it with somebody we trust and love, talk about it with somebody, share it with somebody, so that we can make this our new reality, right? Our new perspective, our current present time um, set point where we live from, right? Where we look at not only sharing this as our truth, but also, talking about and acknowledging, sharing, with our conscious mind or ourselves, that we are the creators of our experience, that anything we might be suffering or dealing with that feels outside of our control, at some level we have sort of manifested because it wouldn't be happening if we hadn't. We have a part in all of it. We are in agreement to all of it, even the stuff that is transformative and sometimes we feel like we have to struggle against. But I feel like as we do this, as we share this, as we acknowledge it and honor it for what it is, we move into that sort of Five of Cups energy where we gain that like sort of intelligence and that awareness at a heart level, at an emotional level, which is also another way that our spirit communicates both with us and through us, is through the emotions. We start to own that and have certainty around that. And so the sharing part of this is, I think, making it all the more real and keeping it not necessarily bottled up within ourselves, but allowing it out into our world, acknowledging it, bringing it forth, and really owning it. Okay? So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope that this makes sense for you guys. I hope that you guys are having a great holiday week, even with the devil and the tower showing up. I think that it's a very transformative week, and if you acknowledge that and live in that and get excited by that, and share those transformations, right? Share your experiences with those transformations. Don't be afraid of them. Don't hide from them. Sharing is not necessarily avoiding or hiding. It's being open and giving in a situation. So be open and giving not only to yourself but to those around you, and acknowledge and embrace the change that you are creating, even if it's in situations that maybe you don't believe that you want to have happen to you. Does that make sense? They're happening to you for a reason. So sharing that experience, right? All right, I'm going to leave you with that. I hope you guys have a great Friday. I will see you guys tomorrow, and I will be live on Sunday. Thank you so much for watching the videos. Again, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Have a great day.